Hi, I'm Edwin
And I am Jack, and welcome back.
to the 950 Club.
See ya!
Oh, yeah, suminasai. And now we'll be talking about the Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle.
Yeah, part 2 of our spooks and... what's a good special name for this?
Spooktacular.
There's good spooktacular. Why not?
Our spooky season review.
Yeah, spooky season review.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're not calling it that. We'll call it our spooktacular.
All right.
Our spooky spooktacular.
All right, cute. And yeah, part 1 was with Toilet Bound Hanukkah from our previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these shows came out in 2020.
Yes, they did.
With the notion with Toilet Bound. Toilet Bound's super popular. Like, we're talking about like kids young and old buying that manga series and getting to the show. Sleepy Princess is relatively underrated.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So, full disclosure, when I read the manga, I wasn't that impressed.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was clever, but it didn't really do much for me.
It was missing something. Something that only a person that would do this project visioned initially since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the first issue of the manga is the setup.
Yeah.
And so setting up the structure of like the quest structure and like the quest completed structure.
Yeah.
It feels like this is only being played for gags. Especially the first few setups.
Yeah, the motions.
Yeah, and so you're like, I get it. Is this great? I don't know. But then as you start to watch, well, let's have the discussion, Jack, about the discussion about one of my, and I mean, I'll probably get heat for this, but this is probably one of my favorite openings to an anime series ever.
Yeah. And we're talking with like a Cowboy Bebop, with Trigun, with Full Metal Alchemist. Like, it's in that range, in that scope of things.
Well, like we talked about last time with Hananuka-kun, Toilet Bound Hananuka-kun, I felt that the opening didn't really help the show in any way.
It didn't have a balance, the music and the art.
Well, I felt that the music, and I'm not talking about the lyrics or anything, but just like a rock, kind of like that rock, kind of like edgy, really modern theme song at the beginning.
Tonally, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't feel that it gave you... I think it was just meant to be like, hey, look, we're new, we're cool.
It's poppy.
Here we are. Yeah. It's popular, it's modern. But I felt that didn't really contribute to the nature of the show.
I would agree.
Yeah. Where the opening of Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, I think, is very much in keeping with the nature of the show.
Similar to Skeleton Knight, like how it sells you the show.
Yeah.
It's almost like an advertisement for the show.
Oh, absolutely. Like you get kind of like the silly goofiness, but you also get kind of like that creepy, like spooky vibe.
Especially seeing the monsters and stuff.
But in a fun way?
Yeah, like old school Halloween specials.
Yeah.
Monsters and Addams Family.
Yeah, it's very like European and kind of like
with the music tones, like they have the harp,
like the music box, like almost like a music box, creepy kind of like vibe,
but operatic.
But operatic, but then fun.
Yeah,
it manages to do all of these things, and it really sets the stage for the show because you get more of an idea of what's happening, more of an idea who this character is, more of an idea of what the kind of like the tone of the show is going to be.
And the music is definitely like no more selling point for any opening, I would argue, and seeing the characters and stuff. But this is like an ultimate display art direction because it balances with the music perfectly.
It does.
It shows her face, how she swindles, then how she dances with the music, and it edits, hard cuts.
She's dancing to that music.
Yeah.
It's not like a montage of all the scenes
Or
from the
what's
show.
going to happen,
Yeah, it's not a montage of the scenes from the show. It is literally a choreographed opening.
Yes.
To where she is dancing to the music, and the music changes according to what's on the screen.
And it's almost like improv.
Yeah.
And it's seamless.
Yeah.
And the art just has this great balance with it because initially when you see it, it's opening a book. Like you would think like a nice little spooky little story. Then it shows a whole encompassing head.
Well, I went back to almost like German expressionism.
There, perfect example.
Where they're using like music to give you emotion and detail and like set the tone and the mood.
Yeah.
Because they're giving you, since they can't speak, the music comes through and delivers that for you.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you get her singing too.
Yeah.
And that's amazing too, because it goes along with everything else.
Yeah, and with this character herself, with the Sleeping Princess, like she's completely subdued compared to this opening.
Yeah. Well, you get the beginning scene that's kind of spooky, like like kind of like the harp music or the organ music that gives you like this spooky vibe. And then at that moment, she's in the castle. And the it's dark, and then boom, next they go to almost like a show tune, kind of like tap dancing, like
and it has all the characters dancing with it.
Yeah,
that's a key thing.
Yep, and then you get like the wacky craziness when she's like doing the little motions, like this is making me crazy, and then her head spins around and it opens up to a scene of her sleeping
in Japanese. And Japanese is hard as it is, but it's one of those rare languages where you need tone and it balances with the tone.
Well, it's so fast paced, and like you said, those edits are just like
hard.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's seamless as hell.
It's seamless, yeah, and it's really entertaining, and I think that gives it kind of like this kick,
this push,
that like you just ride into the show like that, and I think that gives it an energy that the manga kind of like there's no way the manga could have given you.
Not
it's
on
like
a long shot.
The manga had to build into introduction and give you everything, but this music kind of like pushes you in, and here you are, and you're already in this place of like, yeah, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, no, it's probably one of the best openings, definitely of that year, 2020.
Oh yeah,
and it was not a shabby year at all for openings, but man,
no, 2020. I mean, well,
Kaguya-sama, for example, Inspector too.
We were all home. I mean, there was like, I don't know, like more than a dozen shows that year that just kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen was that year.
That too.
I mean, that's when they relaunched Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
I remember for me it was Decadence that year. There was a slew of shows that came out that year that were just like, oh man, yeah.
But ultimately, with the context of the opening and how it settles in, and at the end of that opening too, you have the whole ethos of the show, the sleeping princess going to sleep, and she's like, "See ya."
Yeah.
And that's what
you get the introduction of the land of Goodereste, which is everything in this show is a play on sleep. And like
the ins and outs and everything external and internal with sleeping.
Yeah. And so the structure of it is that Saya has been kidnapped by the evil demon lord.
Ooh.
Yes, he's so evil.
He's so spooky.
He's so spooky. Yeah. And so here she is. She's a princess who's used to the finer things in life.
Luxury to the T.
That's right. And so she can't sleep. There's nothing for her to do. So she's bored.
She's in a cold cell.
Out of her mind. She's in a cold cell and she can't sleep. And her prison guards are the cutest little flying bat teddy bears that you've ever seen in your life.
In retrospect, the Demon King, he's not really planning out these things quite well.
No, he's not too right. I mean, having demon teddy bears as your prison guards, may not be the best idea. Because Saya very quickly learns how to trick them by offering to brush their hair.
Yeah, and she gets the keys.
Yeah. Well, the hair brushing was actually a plot to build a pillow.
Yes. The first mission.
Yes. She's like, their fur is really nice. And then they're like, what's happening? Yeah.
Initially, she was thinking about to stab him. And how she gets these ideas and how she gets these weapons is 110, 120, 130% of the show.
Well, because the show is absolutely ridiculous.
And charming as hell.
It's super charming. It's just like, you're just like, what is even happening here? Like, each episode, she comes up with a plot to improve her sleep.
Literally only her sleep.
Only her sleep.
That's not to escape.
No, that escape. She's pretty much accepted the fact that she is a prisoner of the Demon Lord, and she's got it pretty good. They don't really abuse her in any way, shape, or form.
It's almost like a prisoner of war. Like
she's well fed.
Yeah.
They structure this as a demon. You're kind of like looking at the Demon Lord versus the hero from a very different perspective.
Yes.
You're looking at it from the princess's perspective, but she's also a spoiled brat.
And who doesn't really care, to be honest.
She doesn't care, but at the same time, she's lacking. I don't want. This girl's crazy. Like, Saya is kind of nuts. She has this single-minded quest to sleep comfortably. And nothing will stand in her way. Not like prison guards, not like an army of demons.
Not rules.
Not rules, especially not rules. A little murder. What? That's not a big deal. What the hell?
It's just a demon.
Why, a ghost sheet demon? Oh, what does that look like to her?
For me, it looks like sheets. It looks like
she's like, man, that ghost demon that's floating around, that's a sheet, that might make a perfect comforter.
Yeah.
And snip, giant scissors kills everything.
It's a show where expedition, what's that word?
Exposition.
And the exposition plays it out.
Yeah, the narrator's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, the narrator, we find out later on, is her mother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The queen. Basically, with the exposition, like, in order to find these materials for her bed, she'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I need sheets. She sees the ghost sheet.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is that when she wants to upgrade her bed, it's like, I need a hard shell. And there comes Rocket Turtle.
That's when she's building the water bed.
The water bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's one of those beds. She makes a lot of beds.
The caskets. Yeah. When she sleeps in that time that she sleeps in the caskets.
Yeah.
But it's too rough around the edges. So she takes the priest who has horns and uses his horns to like
saw it down.
Yeah. It's like to sand it down. And he's like, what did you do to me? And all the demons are just being abused left and right.
Yeah. All mission for her to make these beds, to make these, better sleeping environments. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they usually involve either killing and or maiming demons.
The demons around the castle.
Yes.
They're supposed to like guard her, but she keeps on escaping.
They can't keep her confined. They can't keep her from killing people. They can't keep her from maiming people. They can't keep her from destroying things. She's pretty much like a force of like nature.
A reckoning.
Yeah, a force like they don't know what they got themselves into. And they learn to fear her pretty fast.
Yeah. Especially main demons around the courtyard, because they would hear like rumors like, oh, I heard that we got the princess in. And during that exposition.
Oh, I love that scene. I love those scenes. Like, those rumors get so out of control.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, these demons, like, her head exploded and she's going to die. Like, she would be dead if her head exploded. Yeah.
Well, things like that, but also, like, they'd be like, oh, we just built a new facility. No way in hell anyone can guard us now.
And there she is.
There she is, testing out the walls.
Breaking something, making something else. Breaking something, some weapon or something that they have set aside to kill the hero.
Yeah.
They're like, we have this. It's sure to defeat the hero. And there she is, just breaking it with a rock.
Well, specifically the library, the Grimoire.
Oh, yeah. That was hilarious. Like, she's like, and then the thing is, She doesn't care about escaping.
No.
She just wants to have a good night's sleep. She just doesn't care about it. The grimoire is even like, don't you want to get out of here? And she's like, can you just give me my latte? I just want my latte. I want my latte and I want to sleep. You know, she's a very spoiled brat princess.
Yeah. It also shows like the dynamics, or it makes you think about royalty in a nutshell, like how confined you are in your environment.
In her own little world, yeah.
Making the most of it, especially in like ancient times.
Well, the thing is, and then this comes in one of the later episodes where the demons are like, wait, how did you get treated at home?
Yeah.
And is this
those questions kind of linger?
Yeah, and it kind of becomes this interesting part of the show where you're just like, you're wondering if she's been a cage princess anyway.
Yeah.
Like at home, like this isn't very much different from being at home where she had people telling her what to do and this structure. She might be having actually more freedom here than she did at home.
Ironically.
Yeah, ironically, she's been kidnapped and now she has more freedom to roam around and do what she wants than she did at home.
In this whole land of monsters and demons.
Yeah.
And no sunlight whatsoever. But she's making the most of it. And
she's making the most of her sleep at least.
At least that, too.
Yep. Like there's the part where she can't sleep in her crown because it's too
heavy.
Yeah, it's too heavy.
And it gives her marks. And those are cute motions because she's looking at her face and it's like, oh, I got these weird marks.
She's like, where did this come from?
And that's dire to her.
Oh, yeah. She's a princess.
Compared to all these monsters that could eat her.
Which is like she's like, later on, she's like, you encounter like every type of monster, I think, imaginable.
Every imaginable thing.
Yeah. Like these guys get torn to pieces to the point where you would say, is every demon in this world designed to be bedding?
Yeah. No, like I said, with the rocket turtle, like, oh, that'd be brilliant for bed. Like that's the demon's
Her eyes just get real big, and she's like,
similar Comey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she does face transformations. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this show is so funny.
Yeah, and same thing with the opening too. Like it shows every range of emotion she has.
Yeah. This show's so good.
It's too good.
Yeah, it's funny. With each episode is hilarious, and it just gets funnier and funnier.
They're more ridiculous.
It reminds me kind of like when the Three Stooges would do like crossovers with like
they did a monster special.
Yeah, with like Frankenstein or the Wolfman or
Abbott
whatever.
And Costello did that too.
Yeah, this has the same kind of vibe to that. I mean, it's perfect for Halloween, and it's so cute too. But I love that after a while, you start to realize that, she cares about the demons in a weird way.
Well, how they treat her initially, because it's not like they're trying to hurt her or harm her. It's more like, no, be afraid of me. I'm a demon. Like, blah.
Yeah, and there she's not.
She's nonchalant. She just walks by.
She doesn't care. Yeah, she's like, what?
The early stage, especially with the henchmen, we have like a goblin, a minotaur, Frankenstein monster thing, and a big porcupine.
She calls them the Goon Squad.
They're the Goon Squad. They're the true MVPs of the show.
Yeah.
Because they would have like a nice little exchange or something. It's like, oh, the princess is going to be scared when she sees us.
No.
She walks by them.
Yeah.
Like, on cue, walks by them.
They're like, no reaction at all.
But
they're literally like, they're kind of hurt.
Yeah.
They're offended.
And there's a specific episode where she finds this elixir. She thinks it'll be a nice sleeping potion.
It turns her into a baby.
Yeah. And each of the goons is like, oh, she's actually kind of cute.
Little baby, look at the little baby. She's like, this is exhausting.
Well, she also has that inner dialogue where it's like, oh, yeah, I was a relatively quiet child as a kid.
Yeah.
Lines like that are even hilarious in the show.
Yeah. They're like, say something.
Yeah.
What happened? Nope, she won't say nothing. And she tortures them.
And she uses them as weapons.
Yeah. The poor porcupine guy.
He gets the worst of it.
He does. She's just pulling out. She's pulling out his quills.
Yeah.
And he's like, you could ask. Or no, the least you could at least ask. And at that point, I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God. Yeah. They're hilarious. And they're the ones that spread the rumors. And they're the ones who follow around the top 10, and they're like, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, the top 10 are the top 10 monsters. They're supposed to overturn the hero.
Yeah, the Demon Lord. There's the Demon Lord. There's Poseidon. There's the Wolf guy. There's the dragon venom guy. Yeah.
The lava venom dragon.
Yeah.
Lava venom dragon.
I was like, okay. And he's the weirdest one of the bunch with that, like.
It's the funniest fight of them all.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're not really paying attention to what they're doing.
Well, both
in the
sides.
demon castle.
With the princess and with the king. Or with the hero, too.
Yeah. The hero. The hero in this is he's absolutely hilarious.
But he's the example point of the show. Like, this hero is supposed to save the day, but the princess does not give a flying F.
No, she does not care about this guy at all. She found him as a child. She found him annoying. She pretty much left him to die in the forest.
Yeah, and also, like, in a reluctant state of mind, also, which ties into why this princess the way she is because that's her future fiance.
Yeah.
And how you're like, okay, I can understand that now. Like, I would be dismissive too.
Well, because she hasn't been given a choice in the matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Forceful marriage, like, tale as old as time. Like, if only we knew exactly what people were thinking, because that was a norm for a long time, a very long time.
Well, that's one of the cool things about this show is that it starts out as a bunch of running gags about
the princess escaping.
Well, turning these tropes on their heads, kind of like this should be scary, but it's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't find it scary. You know, this is a demon castle. It should be a creepy, scary place. And she's just not affected by it at all. Yeah, like, it doesn't even faze her.
Yeah.
And because, you know, it's her world and we're just living in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a coming of age story for Princess Sya.
Yeah.
Where she's given the freedom to be herself, to figure out who she is and what she wants. It's kind of like turned the whole thing on its head. Like, you have this, like, generic kind of like hero and the demon lord, and it's really Sya's story, and it's about, you know, moving away from home and being out on your own for the first time and finding those people, that place where you fit. For her, it just happens to be the demon lord's castle.
Also, luxury versus comfort. Like, are you comfortable enough where you live?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what you make most of
it. Your happiness is what you make it.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I liked that ended up kind of like sealing the deal for me on this show.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, this is a show I like, so this is a show I love. Yeah, because it definitely goes through that transformation. And this show is just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Every step of the way. I mean, toward the end, you start to get the feels, because at that point, she's become something more to them than just like a hostage or like they've abducted the princess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She's kind of become their friend and their confidant who's looking out for them.
And making him better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making not only, you know, I don't know about her growth. She definitely starts to see things beyond just her comfort and like the need to have like pillows and blankets and like new material and new demons to kill for her, you know, for her bedding.
So yeah.
Yeah. So she starts to see, well, why? She starts to ask, like, why don't demons and humans get along?
Yeah.
Why do they want to kill you? It's
how do demons think about humans at the end of the day? Because our demons have a complex relationship. For example, the one with the harpy just wants to have girl talk, like wants to have normal conversation.
Like, I just want to have a friend.
Yeah. But no, the princess uses her as a as a comforter.
The princess is like, She's like, my legs almost broke off, because she flies her up to the condensed torn clouds.
To get material.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
I like how like it shows her like resting with her. It's just like she's so happy that even that little bit of contact is enough for her.
Well, I like how the harpy comes back and Sya's like, oh, if I get rid of this bed, then she won't come back. And so she goes through this whole thing to get this bigger, more comfortable bed.
Yeah.
So she can use the harpy's wings as a comforter.
Uh-huh.
But then when she realized she's actually going to have to interact with the harpy, she's like, no, not doing this. This is too much trouble.
Yeah.
And so she says, like, here. And everybody's like, you know, like, you did all that and now this?
After all that kind of thing.
So I do love, too, when she gets kidnapped by his brother, Hades.
That's an epic.
That was hilarious.
That was like perfect timing,
Oh, yeah.
perfect like situational comedy there.
They go and they are not concerned with Hades at all.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Well,
why are they calling to her? Like she can get out of her cage, and she's just like wandering around the
Still.
castle, making friends and ripping things up, and
Yeah. Well, for context,
causing destruction.
For context, Hades is the younger brother of
The Demon Lord.
The Demon Lord. You get to the point where he's definitely like trying to force control, but he's very inexperienced with it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you can tell that he's young and that he's not like
Vengeful.
he's kind of been thrust into this role of being kind of like evil.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really want to be.
Exactly.
They're kind of like, all right, we've been forced into these roles, and so we have to play them out. And so it's like, all right, we're going to be evil to her. And then they can't. They just can't.
No, impossible.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have the experience. Even the servant, the only like pushy type, that's the big dog, almost like a chimera. He looks like Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And every time he goes to see the princess, he's a stickler. He's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. But she still finds a way.
Follow the rules.
As much as he pushes, she just is a brick wall.
As much as he grounds her, as much as he punches her.
Yeah.
She's just like, it doesn't matter.
She defeats him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And same thing with the Demon Lord, because the Demon Lord, like, he doesn't even put on a face with her. No. She just goes through him. So with that whole sequence with his brother wants to be the king, the ultimate Demon Lord. Like, he wants to take that power that his older brother has, granted. They haven't even shown the father yet, so I'm curious if they'll show that for the following season.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, if they do the second season. So basically, Hades has a grand plan to abduct the princess again in the older demon castle, and like nothing special for her there. She still finds a way.
Oh yeah. Now, she not only finds a way to sleep, she finds new materials, and she finds a way to escape to go home to the demon castle. Yeah, not home to her castle, but home to the demon castle.
And like you said, like even though they're coming in, it might be a battle against two brothers. They're like, no, we're here for the princess.
Oh yeah, no. Once she's gone, they're gone. They're oh, we're gone. And Hades is like, what's happened?
Yeah.
He's like, wait, I thought we were gonna. They don't care about him at all. They don't give a shit about him at all. There's no concern. They are there to get Saya back, and that is it.
Yeah.
They couldn't have less concern about Hades. It's like, no.
Even the show is like, yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're Hades. Look, whatever. This guy. Oh, man.
Like I said, the timing and cues, you think it would be like an epic battle, but no.
No, the minute they see Saya has left the building, they're gone.
Yep.
They're like, Saya's not here? Boom. Hades is like, he's less than chopped liver. It's like, they are gone.
I know. It's a wonderful episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way that the whole show goes. Like the whole... Like her quest to get like mail in when she's watching those.
Yeah, she eventually
infomercials.
She eventually goes to the cafeteria where all the henchmen hang out and stuff.
Yeah,
like she's casually there, just like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch TV in here.
She's like,
you escaped again?
They're like, is she in here watching TV? Like, what is going on?
And then like seller's channel, like, oh, buy this.
Oh yeah, QVC or something
like a QVC type of thing.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, buy this a deluxe pillow.
And she's like, I want that.
And she tries to call on the phone, but they're like, Demon Land, we can't even go there.
They're like, that's outside of our ship. That's outside of our delivery range.
She smashes the phone.
Pissed.
And all the henchmen are like, ah.
I do love that when she goes into the bath area for all the demons.
Yeah.
They're like, we're nude. Can you not come in here?
And she's just like, yeah.
She's like, I just need hot water.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even faze her. And then I like that the little demons are like, do you want to talk to the princess? No, she scares me. And they kind of run away.
It gets to that point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. When she dismembers the ice golem. Oh.
Yeah. It will.
Just to build an igloo for her because it's summer outside.
Yeah, the timing of emotions in that one. It's one of those ones where we're talking about the best moments, but once you see it, we're not even talking about like the all-time best moments.
Oh, dude, because there's so many.
It's condensed.
It's hard to like really. I mean, I don't think we could cover them all in one sitting, and I think that's why people have to watch this because it will make you laugh. I mean, It'll make you smile. It'll make you laugh. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. I can't recommend this one enough. I mean, there's so much. It will have you laughing throughout the entire show. Yeah, some of the jokes corny. Yeah, some of it's cheesy, some of it's corny, but I think it's almost always clever. And it'll always make you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the building blocks along the way, like her reluctance with the hero. And the hero, the whole time, like, it's genius how they do this because they have the hero for like 3 episodes, 1 little minute of each of those episodes, having epic fight with a sand dragon. Like, they're just stalling with the guy. Like, yeah, he's not that important. Whatever.
Well, this show plays against tropes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Constantly playing against. Like, you think you would be following the hero to save the princess.
You want to root for the hero. Cool.
Yeah, you want to root for the hero, but you're like, the hero's a moron.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he really is a moron. He's just, at the end of the day, he's just annoying.
Yeah. Compared to our demon lord, who he has annoying things, but it's weirdly charming.
He's very charming. He just wants to be cool.
Yeah.
You get the impression that he's trying to fill this role. He really doesn't know how to do it. He's like, I don't know how to do this.
He goes to the point where he has to do favors for the princess. Like, the princess, for one of the best episodes, is when she wants to get the deluxe pillow from that infomercial. She wants to go to the exact mart in this nearby town. And guess what? He has to transport her to that marketplace. And during this whole time, it's a festival. And the festival is like the celebration of killing demons.
Yeah, it's sad.
Of course, the demons definitely not in their environment. But Princess registering that, okay, these demons are actually pretty cool. They're doing me a solid.
Yeah. Because she tells them, too. She's like, I don't see you guys that way. You guys are always nice and kind to me. Because they're terrified of her. But, for the most part, it's like they're not there to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a show that, like I said, plays against tropes again. The demons are they're not evil. They're just misunderstood because of the way they look.
Yes.
And you see that reaction from the prisoners. They're like, oh my God, you're a hideous demon. And they're like, see, this is the way we treat prisoners. But then she turns it around and treats the demons the way the prisoners are treating them, not based on, she's just mimicking their behavior.
Because they asked her to act more like a hostage.
Yeah, act more like a prisoner. And she says those things and they can't handle it.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't handle it.
Because they're so... It got to stepping stones with her mentioning good comments. Like, you guys are actually kind of nice. And they're blushing. They're like, oh, that's actually really sweet.
She's grown fond of them, and they've grown fond of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's times when, this is one of the best gags in the show, when they have a super important meeting. Like, okay, what are we going to do with the hero? What are we going to do with my brother Hades? She casually walks in the meeting, and she's like, I had a nightmare. I want to talk about my nightmare. And they're like, they stop everything.
They're like, we're in the middle of something important. And she just looks at them like, and?
So?
Yeah, she's like, hey, this is about me. Okay? Like, I don't know. I love when they're like having the meeting. There's one episode where they're having the meeting. They're having the strategy meeting, and you just hear this horn going off, and you're like, what is that horn?
Oh, yeah.
And then he turns around, could you stop that?
And she's
just laying there.
Play the horn.
She's laying there staring at them boredly, blowing the horn. She's like, I don't have anything to do. And she's like, shouldn't you be in your cell? They're like, what are you doing? They've gotten so used to her escaping because the little flying teddy bears are failures at being prison guards.
They have the best deal ever. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Well, I love that they line up to get her autograph.
Yeah,
the little artwork.
Oh.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And when the harpy comes to see her, she's like, there's a line. She's like, damn.
Yeah.
Get in line, little girl.
Yeah, well, that's also kind of like the exterior thing. It's the second time viewing, I kind of noticed them more her relationship with women. And, of course, her eventual, betrothed with the hero. But not tying into the norm in a weird way.
Yeah, that kind of gets... this show will take the norms, the tropes,
yes,
and like flip them on their head.
Yeah.
And it does it to hilarious effect. Yeah, even that last episode where she goes back home.
It's an excellent final episode.
And they have to essentially rescue her. They have to re-kidnap her, but it's more like a rescue mission. They're like, we got to get her back.
Because one of the later characters you see named QB or Bussy, she's a succubus, and she looks exactly like the princess.
Yeah.
And it pays off because one episode they introduce each other, then the cleric guy, he uses her as a prop in order to fool the queen.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, this whole time the queen doesn't really look at her daughter.
But she knows.
She knows.
She knows.
No, it turns out, and that's a good swerve too.
Yeah.
Because initially I thought it'd be like more like a first time viewing. I thought like she was just like placing princess. Like we don't even care about her. She's just for politics and stuff.
But mothers know.
But mothers know. And
Yeah.
this time viewing, because she has a quick exchange in my favorite episode with the king, where the king or the demon lord is having problems sleeping, and she's like.
She tortures him.
Well, she tortures him, but I'm trying to get the exchange where she figures out that he's a daddy's boy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because he mentioned in the lines, "Oh, my father's gonna be so upset with me." And she triggers something. It's like, "Oh, okay, you're more a daddy's boy. I'm more of a mommy's girl."
Yeah. Well, she's at the beginning. She's trying to remember what her mom told her about having a good night's sleep, and she remembers that. Well, she was a fussy baby, and so her mom had trouble putting her to sleep. But the most restful sleep that her mom had was being able to put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Once she was able to give that restfulness to her daughter, she was able to find it herself. And Saya does the same thing by figuring out that he just needs reassurance and calming, that she's able to put him to sleep. And then she remembers what her mom says. Yeah. That's the way that you achieve restful sleep.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah. And how she triggers it to help out the Demon King.
Yeah.
She pats him on the head. Like, ooh.
Yeah, she ever said, she's like, it's going to be okay.
And she keeps on repeating it. He's like, what is this? What are you doing?
He's like, oh, this isn't going to. And then he just starts to fall asleep.
He does a Sia.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a cute show. We're gushing here at this point, but. Yeah, guys, this is definitely a show worth watching. It'll give you the feels. And also the closing.
Closing is underrated.
The closing, I think, for me, is also another one of my favorites because where the opening kind of gives you like this classical music.
An energetic push.
Spooky, energetic push. The ending gives you almost like this 1970s pop vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of feel to it,
a Candyland
with a little kind of like very similar to like, and you get all the characters as she floats up to the trees. You get all the characters from the show in different forms, and it's kind of hard to explain. But it's like this it's not like they don't try to make it too modern, but it's this fun, energetic way to be restful. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
because it's very
sugar plum fairy type of thing. It's sweet to sleep,
but like with this 70s rhythm vibe to it, where it's like got this a little bit of pop energy, but not so much that it kind of throws you out of the feel of the show.
It's a single frame kind of thing too.
Yeah. Well, because it's her floating up to the clouds.
Yeah.
And then finally, sleeping.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of the opening, I just want to mention this. The same voice actress that does the Sleepy Princess also sings the song.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And this is the same voice actress.
Very talented.
Yeah, that does Inheritance. The whole point of Inheritance is a girl that can't even talk.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
Remarkable. And the mother has the same lovely tunes. She's the narrator in the whole piece. And every mission she completes will find her quest with a pillow, with the bedding, with a sleeping potion, with a natural light. That one's an excellent one. She's like...
Quest completed.
Quest complete. And she reaffirms it too.
Yeah.
And that's the same voice actress as your Forger.
From Spy Family.
From Spy Family.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like, if you guys like those voice actresses, this is a must.
Yeah. This show, I think, it's a fun show to add to your, like, queue.
Yeah, especially around this time, around Halloween season. But I would argue anytime, anywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, if you're watching, like, if you're catching up on the new season of My Hero.
Yeah.
Or you're watching Chainsaw Man.
Or stuff you missed out in 2020 overall.
Right. Yeah.
2020 was just as stacked as last year.
Well, there were so many shows that were delayed and ended up coming up in 2020. And I know a lot of us were home during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we were catching up on our anime. Just, throw this one into your queue. It's a fun one to watch. So was Toilet by Hananuku-kun. Have your big ones and then, throw these small ones in. They're definitely what I would say some of the high quality, high caliber comfort anime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll watch some shows. Like there's a lot of isekai that I watch. because it's it provides me with that comfort where it's like it's not too serious, it's not too crazy. I think these do the same thing, but at a higher level of quality than some of the other ones.
And you just mentioned how this is the third time viewing. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because this is my second time for
I
this
watched
podcast.
it twice in the Japanese.
Wow.
Well, I like it.
I know, but it's like you catching back that fast too. Wow.
Honestly, to be honest with you, I watched it because I couldn't find for a little while they took the opening off of YouTube.
No kidding.
So I'm like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna
You just go watch the show.
watch the show? It's like, all right. I mean, I needed my fix of that.
I love you, Edwin. I love you. I love you.
Well, I needed my fix of that song, that opening. It's my favorite opening, so it's like I can't not watch it. So I had to watch the show over.
I applaud you.
That was my way of getting my fix of watching the opening. And for when I'm watching stuff for the podcast, there's a time limit. So I usually skip over the opening for most shows. I'll watch it once.
Yeah.
Like with Toilet Bound Hananuku-kun, I watched the opening once to get a feel for it, to see what I remember.
Yeah, watch as you can for the show.
Yeah, and then I jump, but in the successive episodes, I skip over the opening to jump right into the show.
There's select ones I do. Yeah.
Well, for most of them, I will skip. I'll watch the opening once or twice, and I'll skip that to save some time as I'm trying to watch all the episodes and take my notes for the review for the show. I didn't do. I couldn't do that with Sleepy Princess. I had to watch it every time
because like we mentioned, opening is literally the selling point with the greats, the all-time greats. We can't recommend the opening enough.
Yeah, so it's like that was my way to watch it, and so yeah. Yeah, so guys, please check out these two great anime. They're super fun. They're super entertaining. They're for all ages. You can watch this, with anybody. And yeah, thank you guys.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to part 2 of our cute and spooky special with Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. Yeah, it was a natural, great discussion. And after sharing one joke, after sharing one gag, it just piled on and piled on and piled on. And mentioning all the ridiculous moments, it definitely became that type of discussion where me and Edwin just couldn't help ourselves. We tried to construe it as best we could. And overall, what we have to say about the show, just watch it. We can't do it justice enough. And it still baffles me why most people haven't checked it out. It's a riot. It's in the same comedy threshold as Kaguya-sama Love is War. So please check out Sleeping Princess in the Demon Castle. And thank you for checking out this YouTube review. We're going to divide this podcast episode into 2 parts. So that way we'll mention others that we mentioned in the podcast episode. So once again, thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. And please download and share with this episode. We thank you again and goodbye.